So we're just going to actually start seated today. So welcome to your evening yoga flow. And we're just going to start today again in a seated position. So if you want to go ahead and sit up on something, maybe a yoga block or a blanket, just enough that you can allow those hips to gently, or allow those knees to gently fall out and in line with the hips. So if you do have some tighter hips, it's kind of nice to elevate yourself a little bit. And we're just going to start with some breathing. A lot of the times we don't realize, but we're kind of chest breathers in this society. We tend to breathe all up here. And what I'd like to do today is to really kind of focus down on breathing from the diaphragm and really getting some nice inhales and exhales before we start. So we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Just bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And we'll just close our eyes, and we're going to just begin to breathe through the nose, and we're going to take an inhale. See if you can inhale and start to feel the belly rise without the chest rising, just the belly inflating, and then exhaling through the nose as the belly deflates. So you start to feel that hand on the belly slowly move in and out, but the hand on the chest stays relatively still. As you begin to practice this and really tune into this breath, see if you can draw that breath almost like it's a straw down from the back of your nose into your belly as you inflate that belly and then exhale. And then starting to inflate the belly, see if you can start to feel the side ribs and the back ribs expand as well. And then deflate. You can even move that hand from the belly to the side waist and just start to notice as you inhale. Feel not just the belly inhaling, but the side waist inhaling, a little pressure against the palm of the hand. As you exhale, the pressure releases. Still seeing if we can keep that chest relatively still and really drawing that breath down into the belly, into the diaphragm. Feeling that breath inhale and wrap around through those back ribs. And only once you've expanded through the belly, the side ribs, and the back body, then maybe a little inhale, final inhale as you lift into the chest, and then exhale through the chest and through the ribs and the belly. Inhale to the belly, ribs and chest, and then deflate through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. A couple of more times on your own. And then slowly begin to flutter the eyes open and releasing the hands. We're just going to take ourselves over onto our hands and knees into our tabletop position. You can release the tops of the feet down, just lining those knees up underneath the hips, knees under the hips, and then your wrists underneath the shoulders. And then we're just going to take it to some cat-cows here. So on your inhale, we're going to lower or drop the belly button to the mat as we lift the tailbone, lift the chest and the gaze forward. Exhale as we press down and round through the spine, gazing towards the belly button. Inhale, arching the back, and exhale as we round, dropping the chin. And just beginning to move through this at your own pace, really starting to articulate through the spine with the breath as you feel yourself moving into that arch slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then again into that rounding, using the breath to guide the movement. one last time as you finish off. And this time as we inhale, we're going to arch and then start to circle around to the right and taking it into a rounding of the spine as we continue that circle, inhaling as you arch and exhale as you round, continuing to circle yourself to the right. Just working whatever feels good for you, very slowly. And when you're ready, making those circles move the other way as you circle around to the left, completing that full circle, arching on the inhale, rounding on the exhale. A couple of more. And when you're ready, bringing yourself back to a nice neutral spine, we're just going to walk those hands a little forward in front of the shoulders, spread those fingers nice and wide, and then curling the toes under, lifting the hips back to downward facing dog. Sending those sit bones up towards the ceiling. And I want you to keep a little bend in those knees, keep those heels lifted off the mat as you draw the lower belly in. And then we're just going to begin to pedal the heels very slowly as we drop the right heel down. Press the opposite hand away from you. And then go ahead and switch sides, left heel down, press the right hand away. Just continue with that movement a few more times, alternating heels down. Using your breath again to guide the movement, to keep yourself present. When you're ready, just allowing both heels to sink down towards the mat as you press back through the hands and lengthen through the side body. Take a big inhale. And as we exhale, let's ripple forward to find high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale as you press back into your down dog. Inhale as we ripple forward into plank. Exhale as you press back into your down dog. One last time, rippling forward to find high plank. Exhale to your down dog. This time, inhale forward to find your high plank. Exhale as we lower the knees. And then lowering ourselves down onto the mat. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Inhale into a baby cobra. Exhale and release. 2 more times. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale and release. This last time, inhale up. Holding your baby cobra. Continue to breathe. Oops. If somebody could just put somebody, I think somebody's off mute. If somebody could just mute themselves, perfect. Thank you. I know. That's okay. I know there's all this technology we have to remember to check off, right? And then when you're ready, exhale and release down. Inhale, let's come up to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog as we lift the hips and press back. Let's go ahead and bend those knees a little so we can look forward to the top of the mat and then just begin to stroll forward, little steps as we come to the top, landing with the feet hip distance apart. Go ahead, bend the knees and fold yourself over, top of those thighs. Just allow the head to release, making sure there's no tension in the neck. And when you're ready on your next inhale, coming up halfway onto your shins, roll those shoulders onto your back. Exhale and forward fold. This time we're going to begin to roll it up the spine. Take an inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Hands together as we exhale and bring those hands down to heart center. Go ahead and release the hands by your sides. We're going to put some weight into that right leg, and then go ahead, lift that left knee up in front of you, and we're going to interlace the fingers across the front of the knee for a little balance here. So pressing down, grounding into that right foot, find all four corners of the foot. Big toe pad, little toe pad, inner and outer heel. Draw the belly in, activate your core. See if you can get a little taller. Good. And then slowly, if you can take your hands away from the front of the knee, bring them to heart center. And let's see if we can start to float that left leg back to gently find our warrior three. If you need to put the leg down, that's totally fine. Kicking back into that nice capital T position. All of those left toes down towards the mat. If you waver, that's all right. Just find your balance again. When you're ready, let's see if we can float those back toes down to the mat, finding our lunge position. Slowly start to rise up as we sweep the arms alongside the ears to find our crescent lunge. Taking a big inhale, maybe lifting out of the lunge just a little as we exhale and sink back down. Let's find some strength in those legs as though you're scissoring your inner thighs together, kind of pulling the feet towards the center of the mat. Let's go ahead, release the arms behind us and interlace the fingers. Now this is where you might want to grab hold of that towel or strap. Inhale, press the knuckles. Exhale as we fold over top of that right thigh, just bringing those arms up any amount. Looking down towards those right toes. When you're ready, inhale as we float all the way back up. Release the hands. Take one more big inhale as you sweep the arms up for high crescent lunge. And then go ahead and exhale as you pivot those left toes to the long edge of your mat and sink into that right knee, finding warrior two. Just notice the front heel in line with the back arch. Maybe check out your right big toe on the inside of that right knee. If you can't see it, then just push that knee to the right a little bit. Reaching through those fingertips, take a big inhale. And on the exhale, let's flip that right palm up to the ceiling. Go ahead and start to take that top arm and reach it over top of the top ear for finding a little variation of our side angle. Keep bending into the right knee, reaching the arms. And when you're ready, begin to straighten through that front leg just a little bit, leaving a tiny bend. And then inhale as we sweep that left hand to the back leg, reach that right arm up. A little variation here of a reverse triangle, reaching through that right side of the body as we press down into the feet. And when you're ready, take a big inhale as we find triangle pose. Reaching the hips back, reaching the fingertips forward, landing those right fingertips on the shin. Turn and open and float that left arm above the shoulder. This is where you can always use your blocks. They're always nice to just add a little extra for your poses if you find you just want to challenge yourself a little bit or find a little deeper movement. Maybe just play with the movement. And when you're ready, on your exhale, go ahead and come over onto those back toes, fingertips to the floor to find our lunge. Keep that left hand on the mat. And on an inhale, let's go ahead and sweep that right arm up and open to the right and find a little revolving lunge. Keep pressing through that back heel. Find some energy in that back leg. And when you're ready, release that right hand down. Go ahead and take a big step back with that right foot, finding your plank. Take an inhale. Bring that weight over top of the wrists, and then go ahead and exhale. You can lower the knees, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Inhale to your baby cobra, or maybe it gets a little bigger. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and step the feet out a little wider. And then go ahead and start to walk the hands back towards the feet, the back of your mat. Turning the toes out about 45 degrees, we're going to take it into that yogi squat, malasana or garland pose. Again, if you need to come up on the heel, off the heels a little bit, that's totally fine too. If you can sit it right back down, maybe bringing those elbows to the inner thighs. See if you can make the tailbone heavy no matter where you are. Make the tailbone heavy towards the floor as you lift up through the crown of the head and keep that chest lifted. And then slowly releasing your hands to the mat. Go ahead and lift the hips up as you heel toe those feet in slightly. Inhale up halfway onto your shins. Exhale and fold. Go ahead and start to roll up the spine. Inhale as you sweep the arms all the way up. Palms come to heart center as you exhale. Go ahead and take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers or grab hold of your utensil, whatever you got here to help you with that. Strap or towel. Inhale as you roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, go ahead and bend the knees and see if we can swan dive as we forward fold over top of those thighs, just letting those arms come over any amount. This is where I like to use a strap or a towel for this because it really does help with that range of motion with the arms over the back. Excellent. Taking a few deep breaths here. Nice. And when you're ready, releasing the hands, releasing your strap. And then go ahead, inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Bending the knees, just start to walk yourself forward to your downward facing dog. Finding your down dog. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, start to stroll forward to the top of the mat, landing with the feet hip distance apart, bending the knees and allowing yourself to fold forward. Just folding over top of those legs. And then when you're ready, inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, start to roll it up the spine. Inhale, sweeping those arms all the way up, palms together as we exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and release the hands by your side. We're switching it over this time, so weight in the left leg. Plant the foot, maybe even lift your left toes, spread them wide, and then set them back down. Really feel all four corners of that foot. And then when you're ready, start to float that right knee up, interlacing the hands on the front of the knee. Finding a drishti, which is a point of focus in yoga, a soft gaze on something. See if you can root down through that foot and lift up a little taller through the crown of the head. Using that standing leg, using that glute. And when you're ready, see if you can keep that knee lifted as you draw the hands to heart center. And then maybe see if you can start to float that right leg back to find our warrior three balancing pose. We reach, reaching through the toes. Again, if you're falling out of it, it's totally fine. Just come on back to it, recenter, and then work yourself back in. If you're doing this on a hardwood floor, carpet on a hardwood floor, that's so much easier. Again, it depends on what's underneath you. On a carpet, it's a little bit more difficult. And then when you're ready, see if you can float those right toes down to the mat, finding your lunge as we sweep the arms up and reach through the fingertips. Take an inhale as you lift out of it, exhale as you sink down. And then go ahead and bring those hands behind us, interlace those fingers. Take an inhale. Again, you can grab hold of the strap if you want. And when you're ready, exhale as you hinge forward from the hips, bringing the torso over top of that left thigh, staying high on those back toes so the heel is lifted. Still in the lunge position with the legs. Draw the belly in. And when you're ready, inhale. Start to come all the way up. Releasing the hands. Go ahead and sweep the arms up for your high lunge. Exhale as we open to warrior two, turning those right toes as we sink into the left knee this time. Reaching through those pinky fingers. When you're ready, flipping that left palm up to the ceiling. Go ahead and start to reach the arms forward as you bring that right arm over top of the ear, again into a modified side angle pose. Arms reach to the front of the mat. Continue to bend into that left knee. And when you're ready, slowly start to straighten through that front leg. And then go ahead and reach that right arm to the back leg as we reach and sweep that left arm over top of the left ear, opening up the left side of the body. A little side stretch. And then slowly start to float those arms down, reaching the fingertips forward as we reach the hips back. Finding triangle pose, left fingertips to the left shin as we turn and open, right arm floats up. So we have a little bend in that front knee. We're not locking it out. Again, you can choose to use a block on the inside of the foot if you like, to just play with it a little. Main goal here is to really keep both sides of that waist nice and long. We tend to want to crunch into that bottom waist here. But the idea is to keep the length. And on the exhale, let's go ahead and turn over onto those back toes. Bring the fingertips down to the mat. Let's plant the right hand. And on your inhale, go ahead and sweep that left arm up over top of the shoulder as we take a little revolving lunge. Really pressing through the back heel, find some energy in that back leg. And when you're ready, release back down to the mat. Go ahead and step that left foot back to meet the right into your high plank. Take an inhale as you shift that weight forward over top of the wrists. Your choice to lower down from high plank to chaturanga or come all the way down to the floor, finding your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And when you're ready, opening up the feet a little wider Again, start to walk the hands back towards those feet, turning those toes out about 45 degrees, working it back down into that yogi squat. Again, just working to open those hips. If you need to kind of roll around a little bit, you can. Settling into your squat, whatever that looks like. See if you can, again, make the tailbone a little heavy as you lift the chest, draw up through the crown of the head. And then slowly placing the hands back down onto the mat as we lift the hips, bring those toes to face forward. Inhale up halfway onto the shins. Exhale and fold. Inhale as we roll it up, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and take those hands behind again. So again, if you're working with a strap, or maybe this time just the hands, as we squeeze the palms together, press the knuckles down. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale as we bend the knees and fold over. Drawing the belly in. Seeing if we can take tension away from the neck. And slowly releasing the hands, fingertips down to the floor. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Go ahead, bend the knees. Start to walk yourself forward, finding your downward facing dog. And then taking an inhale, let's ripple forward, finding high plank. Exhale as you press back and find your downward facing dog. Again, inhale forward as we find high plank. Exhale back to down dog. One last time, inhale forward and exhale back. This time, inhaling forward to your plank. Good. We're going to go ahead and bend or lift the left toes and then bend the left knee. And we're just going to flip that left foot over and then land down on our bums with our right leg extended, left knee bent. From here, we're going to place our hands behind us, bending both knees, hip distance apart, fingers facing the hips. And we're going to press into the floor with those hands and feet as we squeeze the backside of the body, glutes, hamstrings, and lift the hips up to the ceiling for reverse tabletop. You can continue to gaze down towards your navel, taking a couple cycles of breath here. And then go ahead and release down to the floor. Keep that left foot in, extend that right leg. Let's go ahead and wrap that right arm around the left knee, left fingertips behind us. Flex those right toes, so really engage that right leg. Inhale as you lift up nice and tall, and then exhale as we twist. Using that core, engaging, and then maybe through the ribs, the chest, and that gaze over the shoulder. Notice if you've lost that tension in the right leg. Engage it again. Pull those toes into the shin. And then slowly unwind and release. Let's get out of this the same way we came into it. So keeping that right leg extended, we're going to flip ourselves over, hands onto the mat, finding our plank pose. Take an inhale, weight over top of those shoulders. Exhale, your choice to lower. Maybe it's chaturanga, finding up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's ripple forward, finding high plank. This time lifting the right toes, bending the right knee, and flipping the right foot over as we land down on the opposite side of the mat. This time left leg is extended, right knee's bent. From here, we're going to take our hands behind us, Fingers face the hips. We're going to bend both knees, place the feet on the floor, hip distance apart. When you're ready, engage the back side of the body. Squeeze the glutes, hamstrings to lift the hips. Gazing down towards the navel. Finding the breath. How's that? Are we having fun yet? And go ahead and release. Good. Let's extend that left leg, sitting it up nice and tall. We're going to take that left arm, grab hold of that right leg, right fingertips behind us, making sure that that right foot is planted right on the floor. Let's pull those left toes in, really engage that left leg. Inhale tall and exhale as we take it into our twist. Oh, did we lose the engagement on that left leg? See if you can pull those toes back in again. Funny how we start to forget about a few things like that, right? We're kind of more focused on one thing and then we kind of lose that. So it's okay. Just mindfulness. And then slowly start to unwind. And again, we're going back out of this the same way we came into it. So go ahead and turn yourself over. Finding your plank. Taking an inhale, exhale as you lower. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Bending the knees, looking to the top of the mat. Begin to stroll yourself forward, landing at the top of the mat with the feet hip distance apart. Bending those knees, allowing yourself to fold over. This time, maybe bending at the elbows, cradling elbows with opposite hands. Into our ragdoll. You can even add a gentle sway from side to side if that works. And when you're ready, releasing the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, coming up halfway. You can choose to bring those fingertips to the shins or maybe leave them on the floor if you're feeling like your flexibility is improving a little bit as we move through the class. Exhale and fold. Inhale as we roll up the spine, bringing those arms with us. Inhale, sweeping the hands up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale. Go ahead and exhale. Release those hands by your sides. Let's put some weight into that right leg. Go ahead and draw that left knee up. Let's interlace around the front of the knee, giving ourselves another chance here to find our balance. Drawing the belly in. Maybe you can bring your right hand to the right waist. And you can play with this a little as we start to open that left knee to the left. Any amount. Ground down through the foot. Find a soft gaze, something to focus on. Bringing that left knee back in front. Don't rush it. And then when you're ready, setting that foot back down on the floor. Let's switch over to the other side. Weight into the left foot. Drawing that right knee up. Interlace fingers in front of the knee. You can just stay here if that's fine. Totally fine for you, then do that. Lots of options. If you want to play with it a little, left hand to left waist. Maybe you start to open that right knee. Nice and slow. Move with intent and move slowly. Good. Take a deep breath in and exhale, slowly moving it back. And when you're ready, releasing that right foot to the floor. Good. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And folding all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's go ahead and step the left foot back to a lunge. Keeping those fingers, those hands under the shoulders. Let's prop ourselves high onto our fingertips. As we inhale, let's lift the chest forward. Send that left heel back. And as we exhale, go ahead and send the hips back as we straighten through the right leg and lift those right toes, right foot off the mat. Inhale back to your lunge, lift the chest, press through the back heel. Exhale again, sending the hips back, little straightening through that right knee, peeling that right foot. One last time. Inhale as we find our lunge. Exhale and peel it back. Good. Take it into your lunge. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale as we start to float the torso off that front leg, sweeping the arms back along our sides, using your core. Inhale as we sweep the arms up to find high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down. Big step to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's go ahead and step the right leg back into our lunge. Inhale as we lift the chest forward, send the right heel back. Exhale as we begin to press the hips back, straightening through the left leg and peeling the foot off the mat. Inhale to your lunge. Exhale and press the hips back. Staying high on those back toes, lifting the heel. Inhale forward one last time. Exhale and press back. Inhale forward to your lunge. Pressing into the feet. Exhale as you lift the belly off the thigh. Reach those arms back. Inhale as we sweep up and find our high lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to your plank. Take an inhale. Exhale and lower. Inhale to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Let's bring ourselves down onto the knees. We're going to open the knees as wide as the mat if that feels good. And big toes to touch as we sit it back into child's pose. You can go ahead and keep those arms extended. You can stack the hands and rest the forehead. Or you can even go ahead and release those arms around the body, palms face up, as your forehead releases onto the mat. Let's find a few inhales and exhales here through the nose, nice and slow. And when you're ready, slowly draw the hands back under the shoulders and start to roll it up the spine. Bringing yourself over onto one hip and just bringing those legs around. We're just going to take a cross-legged position just for a moment before we take it down into our final posture. We're going to just bring those fingertips out to the sides of us. We're going to take an inhale. Go ahead and sweep that right arm up over top of the ear. And as we exhale, we're going to round forward, bring those hands with us over to the other side. Take an inhale as you reach that left arm over top of the ear. Exhale as we come up to seated. Inhale, let's reach that left arm over the ear. Exhale as we circle the other way back. Inhale, right arm over the ear. Exhale and come to sit up nice and tall. One more time. Inhale, right arm up. Reach and exhale, big circle around. Sweeping that left arm over top of the ear. And release to sit up. One last time. Left arm reaches up on the inhale. And exhale, circle it around. Inhale, right arm reaches over the ear. And exhale as we sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and turn towards the front of your mat. And we're just going to give ourselves enough room behind us to gently lower ourselves down onto our backs. And we're going to take a little spinal twist here. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left. And if this is a little too intense for you, then you can always just keep the knees together. And release your arms out to the sides in a T position. And then just go ahead and start to drop the knees over to the left side of your mat. See if you can work that right shoulder blade back down onto the mat if it starts to lift. And you can always use that left hand on top of the thigh if you want a little extra traction. You can even turn the head towards the right, gazing down to the right thumb. Take a few breaths here. Imagine the spine getting a little longer, creating a little extra space between each vertebrae on your inhale, and exhale softly into your twist. And then slowly bringing the head back to center, uncrossing the legs, and bringing yourself back to the center of your mat. Go ahead and cross your left leg over the right this time. And then when you're ready, dropping the knees to the right. And if you like, as you work that left shoulder down, you can go ahead and turn your gaze towards that left thumb. A few breaths here, using that visualization of that inhale lengthening, exhale as we soften. And when you're ready, bringing yourself back to center as we unwind. Maybe pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, setting the hips back down. Go ahead and bring those knees in towards the chest. Maybe give yourself a little rock and roll from side to side. And then if you need to do anything else before you take it into your Shavasana, then please go ahead, feel free. Extending the legs out and releasing the arms by the sides, maybe walking those shoulder blades down the back. Palms face up. Taking an inhale through the nose, open the mouth with an exhale. And just let go of any expectation on that breath. I'm just going to let you enjoy a few moments here without me talking. Just enjoy the silence, or maybe there's some noise around you can hear. Just let it be a part of your practice. Slowly coming back to your breath, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe go ahead and take a big inhale as you reach the arms back overhead. Full body stretch. And on your next exhale, sigh it out and just soften. Bending the knees, placing the feet on the mat. And rolling it over to one side, bringing those knees up towards the chest. Just give yourself a moment here, resting your head on your arm. And when you're ready, gently helping yourself up into a seated position. And just crossing the legs, finishing as we began today. Taking a big inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale. And exhale. One last time, big inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center, lightly touching the thumbs on the sternum as we bow the chin. And finishing with one final word as we close our practice tonight. Namaste. Thank you so much.